Link TV, connecting you to the world. Link TV is viewer supported. Watch more at linktv.org.
So Dean, give me the story in 60 seconds or fewer of Dean's Beans.
I started Dean's Beans as an experiment to see if it was possible for a business to be socially responsible, to take the problems of the people that it dealt with along its supply line, take them seriously, respectfully, do something about it, and yet at the same time maintain profitability. Because I thought if I could do that, then it modeled for other businesses that a business could be an active force for social change and still be a profitable business, which obviously a business needs to be.
You're gently critical in some of the writings that I've seen of more mainstream companies. And when I read that, I say, well, what is Dean's goal? Because on the one hand, a goal would be that even mainstream companies get on board with your business model because you think it's such a good business model. On the other hand, I think that Dean wants to maintain his competitive advantage. So what is your goal?
My goal is radical social change. And I would like to see every company involved in coffee take on a deep ethical commitment that permeates what they do, not commodify corporate social responsibility to labor, the environment, or whatever, and then pick and choose and take the low-hanging fruit of recycling, but not deal with the larger issues of what happens at third world source. So I'm really challenging companies to step up to the plate and take a very serious investigation of how they do business. I'm 56 years old. I really don't expect to be doing this for another 100 years. So I'm not really worried about competitive advantage. I would be thrilled if we were put out of business because all of our competitors, from Green Mountain to Starbucks to Seattle's Best, adopted the same business model. I'd be thrilled.
What's the biggest difference, encapsulated in sort of one line, what's the biggest difference of your business vis-a-vis other businesses who claim to be in this space?
The biggest difference for Dean's Beans is that the social good of our suppliers at third world source is equally important to us as our profitability. And so they can't be delinked. And I don't simply mean that we pay them more money. We don't fob off our sense of responsibility. As an activist and sort of anthropologist, I know that the people we work with in the 14 countries we're in have experienced years and years of trauma from war. They've experienced unfair trade practices. Their own governments abuse them. The reason commodities are so cheap is because they're grown in this sort of an environment. So we want to take responsibility for the whole situation. So in each of the villages we work in, we ask people what is holding them back, what's their biggest obstacle to their social, economic, or ecological development, and they tell us. Then together we design a program that they're capable of managing with outside assistance. And so it's not, frankly, the white guy coming into the village and saying, I know what your problems are and here's how we're going to solve them. That in the last 50 years hasn't solved anything. Right. Instead, it's a people-centered model where they tell us, and together with our facilitation skills and our resources, we work together to help identify the problems that we can deal with at our scale, right, and then try to do something about it. So part of the value of what we do is it shows people at source that they're capable of, in a sense, dealing with their own problems if they have the resources and support. And that's where real change begins.
Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world. To learn more, visit linktv.org.